Hey, what's up, guys? It's Shafe. Today I want to do a review on a new fishing lure that I got. It's called Jake's Spinalure. And if you look at this thing, it's probably like no other fishing lure that you've ever seen. It's really kind of crazy looking. My wife calls it the money clip for obvious reasons. Most fishing lures are designed to actually look like a minnow or a crawdad or something that a fish bites. This doesn't look like anything that a fish would normally bite. I mean, I've looked at I've I've looked at this thing in Walmart. I've just like gone past it. I look at it and I'm like, why would anybody buy this thing? It doesn't look like it would catch fish. It looks ridiculous. And I kept thinking that. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to look this thing up on the internet and see if anybody has ever reviewed it. So I took it off the rack and I got the name of it. It's called Jake's Spinalure. And I read these reviews, and everybody's ranting and raving about how this thing, it just catches fish. And I was like, wow, okay, well, I guess I have to try it. So let me tell you a few things about it. Number one, it's heavy. I think this is the 2/3 ounce. It comes in different sizes. This is the silver with red dots. I have a gold with red dots. Actually, I lost it in the weeds today. I'm going to buy another one. But silver with red dots and gold with red dots. And then they have some other different crazy looking ones that I might get when I go to Minnesota. But anyway, I'm trying to keep my face in the screen and the lure in the screen at the same time. Maybe I'll go this way. Um, so the fact that it's heavy and that it's metal and it cuts through the wind. So you can cast this thing like a mile. It's ridiculous. So what's the good thing about casting a far way away? Number one, you cover a lot more water coming back to you, right? So that's the big problem with not being able to cast far, is that you don't cover much water. Not enough fish see it. When you cast really, really far away, you cover a lot of water, and that's ideal with any kind of lure. Number two is that the further away you cast, the deeper the lure can go on your retrieve, basically. And so that's two benefits of having a lure that's really heavy that can cast really far away. But the action on this thing, because of the way it's shaped now, I don't know who thought of this shape or whatever, the action of this thing, it is not your typical spinning. I know it's called Jake's Spinalure, but it doesn't necessarily spin. If you reel it fast enough, it will spin on the retrieve, but it wobbles. It kind of does this, and it spins, and it just looks crazy in the water. It looks so erratic. And I think that's what makes fish go nuts over it. I think because you know that a fish is not really getting a good look at this. Because if they did get a good look at it, they wouldn't bite it, because it doesn't look like something they would eat. But because of all the wobbling and spinning and everything that it's doing, they don't get a good look at it, and they bite the hell out of it. That's all I can tell you, is that they bite the living hell out of this lure. Okay, and so that's obviously a good thing. Now, I'm in trout country. I'm up in Colorado, and so a lot of people rant and rave about how it catches a lot of trout, and I was like, well, I wonder if it catches bass. So I haven't fished for bass yet, but I have read some reviews of people saying that it does catch bass, so I'm definitely going to try this. I'm going to buy all four of the major ones. Got the silver and the gold. There's a yellow with like red tiger stripes and like a orange with black tiger stripe looking things. So I'm going to get all four of the major ones. There is a black one with yellow dots that I might pick up too. But anyway, now to the last thing. I do have a con about this. I do have something that I'm not pleased about with this lure. I went fishing this evening, and I hooked 5 trout in a fairly short amount of time. They were rainbow trout, because the lake that I fished in was stocked with nothing but rainbow trout. So of the 5 that I hooked, I reeled in and literally held in my hand 1. I pulled 1 out of the water. Why? Because the other 4 threw the hook. Now, this is pretty common with a lot of lure manufacturers. To cut costs, what they do is they use a cheap hook at the manufacturer. So as you can see, this is a triple, or they call it treble hook. and it's pretty cheap. It's not super sharp. And so after all these trout throwing the hook, I said, well, I'm going to change out this hook. So I've got some really good eagle claw hooks. These things are awesome, super duper sharp, very strong hooks. And I went to change out the hook, and I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to change the hook. Now, there might be a way to do it, but this thing's pretty much locked in there. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's two, like, I don't know, metal rod ends that are like curled up under here that kind of basically lock it in here. So, I mean, I pulled and tugged on this thing, and there isn't really a way to change out the hooks, which most lures will have kind of like a key ring kind of a thing where you can put something on and take something off and change out the hooks on. On this thing, unfortunately, you can't do that. So I'm pretty disappointed with the hook, to be honest with you. And the fact that I can't change it out. That's just really disappointed. I mean, I can change it out, but I'm basically going to have to break the lure. So if I do successfully break this little thing off and change it out and put something different in its place, I don't know what I'm going to put, but I'm going to put some kind of clip in there and try to put a new hook on there. If I do that, I'm going to make another video letting you guys know what I did. But anyway, that's Jake's Spin-A-Lure. Overall, I really do like it, mainly because it definitely catches fish. Fish bite the hell out of this thing, bottom line. At least trout do. So that's my review. Thanks for watching.